After exploring Rome, Florence, Pisa, it's time for me to explore yet another Italian city, and that's Milan. Woohoo! I'm very, very excited. In fact, all the friends that I've been talking to, I told them that I'm in Milan, and they were like, "Hey, you're so much into fashion. You should absolutely love Milan. That's like the fashion capital of Italy," which is true. But Milan is also the commercial capital of Italy. In fact, somebody just told me that for every church in Rome, they have a bank in Milan. Right behind me is the very famous Milan Cathedral. We're going to go inside tomorrow. I think I'm a little late today and the tickets have stopped selling. We're also going to go onto the top of the cathedral. My favorite bit of exploring any city is to go onto the top of different monuments and buildings and bell towers and have a bird's eye view of the entire city. And that's exactly what we're going to do today by going right up there. There. Right now, let's have some fun with the pigeons. So all this while I'd been asking people to take my pictures, but my shamelessness in Milan hit a new high, or shall I say a new low, when I asked a random stranger. I just stopped him and asked him to take my video. I mean, this is one moment I could not really afford to miss. There's just so much of fun feeding pigeons, right? Amidst all this real mad fun, what really caught my attention was that the central square of Milan is covered with pigeons. They're like pigeons all around, but also right in the center of this square, there is a statue of King Vittorio Emanuele II, which was spick and span. I mean, despite having so many pigeons around, it somehow managed to remain perfectly clean all the time. So I asked a few people around, and they told me that the trick is that the current that goes through the monument deters birds. It keeps the birds away. Wow, that's almost like a whirlwind around the statue that protects it from the birds. And the fact that they could think of such amazing science back in the day simply blows my mind away. After feeding the pigeons, it was time to feed myself. Alright, food is definitely one of my weaknesses, and I read this on a couple of blogs while I was reading about Milan, that if you're in Milan, then you have to come to this place called Panzerotti Luini, which is right in the background, and they serve something really interesting called Luini, which is basically your pizza dough except filled with mozzarella and tomatoes and fried. They have a couple of options. They have ricotta cheese with olives and some other vegetables as well, but I've chosen myself a nice mozzarella tomato Luini, which I'm going to bite into. And I must admit, it's very, very sinful. It's very close to Duomo, the cathedral, Milan Cathedral. It's right behind it. Take a left and you cannot miss it. Everyone knows about this place called Panzerotti Luini.